Bitcoin millionaires do exist. I know, I've met one. He happened to be an incompetent IT manager, but what does he care? He's a millionaire. And that's the attraction. An ordinary Joe like you or me could just put some money into Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency and watch it rocket in value and then become a millionaire, right? Well, no, that's about as likely and about as sensible as taking your pension and investments and betting them on a horse at the Grand National and choosing the horse by the colours the jockey's wearing. It's that bad. It is a blind gamble.
It doesn't reproduce, it doesn't deliver, it can't mail you a check, it can't do anything. And what you hope is that somebody else comes along and pays you more money for it later on. But then that person's got the problem.
Why is investing in cryptocurrency so bad? Well, apart from the theft, the corruption, and the human error, the prices of cryptocurrencies shoot up and down really quickly over short periods of time and by big amounts. In other words, they're massively volatile, and volatility means risk. If you're going to do well by buying in cryptocurrency, you have to know not only when to buy, but also exactly when to sell. And the catch with that is, it's absolutely impossible to know either. This impossibility is exposed when you read the predictions of supposed experts. This article from the 9th of September 2024 in digital newsletter The Daily Hodl included this opening line. An analyst who nailed the pre-halving Bitcoin correction believes Bitcoin and crypto are close to witnessing either a bounce or a sustained reversal. One more time, that's either a bounce or a sustained reversal. In other words, this expert in Bitcoin predicts that the price of Bitcoin will either go up really sharply or go down really sharply. Thanks a lot. And that's the expert. Why is cryptocurrency so volatile in terms of its price? Well, because it's nothing more than a bit of computer coding. It's worth what people think it might be worth in the future. It doesn't have a central bank like the Bank of England stepping in to modify the price. And also, there's not much you can do with it. I mean, yeah, you can buy a cup of coffee in El Salvador, but bear in mind, El Salvador, which has adopted Bitcoin alongside the US dollar, used to have the currency up until 2001, which it called the colon. Well, it had a ring to it. As a result, all sorts of things can influence the price. For example, the Chinese recently joined a whole bunch of other countries that no longer allow cryptocurrency to be traded. On top of that, various criminals have raided exchanges, causing huge losses to people who owned the cryptocurrencies. People have lost their passwords. As a result, some people who would otherwise be millionaires are left ruing the fact that they can't remember a sequence of numbers and letters. And it's tough. There's nothing they can do about it. That money has gone. And then there's a whole bunch of other people launching loads and loads of cryptocurrencies on a daily basis. So they're all trying to attract your money to sell their bit of computer coding instead. And that undermines the price of the existing cryptocurrencies. And that leads to people with vested interests doing everything they can to big up the attraction of Bitcoin. For example, on the 9th of September 2024, the man responsible for the company that owns the biggest single holding of Bitcoin predicted a massive rise in Bitcoin's price. Michael Saylor,
don't start anything you can't finish, sailor boy,
chairman and co-founder of investment company MicroStrategy, presides over 1% of all of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's value goes up, he makes a shed load of money. If it goes down, he's in serious trouble. Funnily enough, he was quoted as predicting that the value of Bitcoin would rise to $13 million per coin over the coming 21 years. Indeed, most of the people who predict great times ahead for Bitcoin fall into one of four categories. Number one, they're trading the actual stuff. So they make money when you buy or sell Bitcoin, or indeed just sit on their trading platform and hold the stuff. Number two, articles that get paid to send people to those trading platforms through affiliate marketing links. Number 3, as we've seen, people who have a vested interest in their ownership of cryptocurrency rising, or, in the case of Forbes magazine, who want Trump to win the election and therefore say that if Trump wins, the value of Bitcoin will shoot up, whereas if Trump loses, it'll drop like a stone. And finally, you have jobbing writers who don't know what they're talking about, who don't understand investments, and use terms such as stability when considering Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. I've read an article very recently that was published in the last few months about that. I won't quote the article because it wouldn't be fair, but stability? Are you serious? Let's have a look at the FCA's own website and its article, Crypto the Basics. Look at these charts. Do these charts look like a reflection of stability to you? They sure as heck don't to me, and these charts just reflect 3 years of price movement. And as the FCA itself points out, if you'd bought at the peak and then sold, you would have lost varying amounts. Now compare that to the rather boring but far more stable MSCI ACWI, which is just a long name for global shares. Far more stable, far less volatile. Yeah, you're not going to shoot the lights out, but you're much less likely to lose your shirt or your pension. Now let's get a more objective view from investing in cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin from Eswar Prasad, who wrote an article for the Brookings Institute. Bear in mind the Brookings Institute is a genuinely independent research unit, and unlike many think tanks, it openly publishes all its donors every year, so you know how it's funded. In his article, The Brutal Truth About Bitcoin, he wrote, "Bitcoin investors seem to be relying on the greater fool theory. All you need to profit from an investment is to find someone willing to buy the asset at an even higher price." And then there's Warren Buffett.
And what you hope is that somebody else comes along and pays you more money for it later on. But then that person's got the problem.
And if you don't believe what they say, let's switch back to the FCA's article. If you decide to invest in crypto, then you should be prepared to lose all the money you have invested. Finally, here's how cryptocurrency features in my rating of assets. As you can see, I think it has about the same level of risk as selling an organ. Now, if you're the sort of person who likes burning money and eating at Hannibal Lecter's fresh and juicy restaurant, then you go for it. However, if you value your investments and your pension, then apply some common sense and some patience. Invest in something that's rather more sensible and far more diversified. And I provide loads of information on this free at my website, investwithoutbeingripped.com. If any of this information is useful, please forward it to someone else. And please also consider giving me a like and subscribing to the videos.
Okay.
No.
You don't own Bitcoin?
No, I do not own one. I don't own any cryptocurrency. I never will.